Hello everyone and welcome to the Superhero Podcast, and this week I'd like to talk about something different. It's about animation, but we talk about animation on this channel anyway, so let's go ahead. A few days ago I appeared on a podcast on Comic Frontline when someone asked me to describe Steven Universe to them for someone that didn't really like shows like Adventure Time or Regular Show. I stated it as being better than both of them and much more engaging for all ages and no particular gender. It wasn't for boys, it wasn't for girls, it's for everybody. And to be honest, that is the utmost truth. It's a show that keeps getting better with every other episode, and I'm really glad it exists because it's fast becoming one of my favourite shows of the year and of kids' TV nowadays in general. A few years ago, there were shows like Young Justice, Spectacular Spider-Man, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and even before that there were shows like The Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Animaniacs, Batman the Animated Series. They were all shows that I really found enjoyable and were engaging, and had, in no uncertain way of saying, adult stories that fitted within kids' TV. Unfortunately, they're all gone now. Those shows are finished. Either been cancelled after a good amount of time, like Batman and Powerpuff Girls and Animaniacs, or you have shows that were pulled because they apparently weren't reaching their target demographic, like Young Justice, Spectacular Spider-Man and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And they're replaced with really dumb shows called Teen Titans Go, Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assemble. So why am I particularly speaking about this show? Isn't it just the same as all the other ones? Well no, it's focused around a young boy called Steven who's one of the Guardians of Earth as a part of the Crystal Gems, a group of intergalactic warriors who draw their power from their special magical gemstones. They are Garnet, Amethyst and Pearl. Steven is the son of their leader named Rose Quartz, who unfortunately died. And as he's trying to find out the secrets of his gem and his powers, he's also helping them defend the universe and Beach City, or just having a nice moment with each individual gem to divulge and expand their characteristics. And with the episode that's just finished with the jailbreak, I have to honestly say that this show has opened my eyes to how it's going to proceed in the future. It doesn't rely on a strict storyline. I mean, it's similar to Adventure Time. They occasionally fill in the backstory of what happened to this world, and then they carry on from there. But in Steven Universe, lately it has been following its own sort of mythology, it's been following its own story, and then I had a look back and noticed from the first episode, it was doing that already. It was going all the way back to the beginning and noticing all those things. It hit me. This show is perfect for anyone. It doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter which gender you are, you can enjoy this show. It has smart humour, it has sad moments, and it also has really eye-opening animation, which is really refreshing to see. I mean, you have a great voice cast with like Zach Callison, Estelle, Michaela Dietz, and Dee Dee Mango Hall, and even Tom Sharpling, and it's just a spectacular show. It doesn't matter if you don't like these types of shows, but if you can devote just 20 minutes of your time to the first 2 episodes, I assure you this show will have hooked you. If not, then I'm sorry. It makes me think that maybe Sugar did enjoy her time on Adventure Time, but in the end she felt like this show was going on a circle, and so she decided to create her own show, which the network picked up. And I'm glad they did. Every episode that goes by makes me think more and more about the entire story of Steven Universe. It's so refreshing to see that the show isn't strangleholded by its being on Earth. They go into space, they go to other dimensions, they go to other places, and it doesn't restrict it to what you can do. It has an engaging backstory, it has an engaging story, the animation design is beautiful, and it's much better than its fellow predecessor Adventure Time, which has sadly become one of those shows that doesn't really focus on that much story anymore and just works on the jokes, and then occasionally fills in the backstory. And the best element about the show that I've identified so far is that it never forgets by episode end. What I mean by that is something that you learn in the episode isn't just swept under the carpet and never referenced again. They actually come back to it, and that is nice to see. And honestly, it's one of those shows like Gravity Falls that is a rare diamond in the rough. I use that phrase sparingly because, really, they are. I've missed this kind of show that makes me feel happy. Not since Legend of Korra ended have I seen a show that has done this, and gladly I have found Steven Universe, and it is a really good show. I would recommend it to anyone. And yeah, you may find it very similar to shows like Adventure Time, because it was done by a former animator of theirs, but that's not the point. This show is a lot better than that show, and in actuality could replace its popularity. I want to see this continue into a few further seasons, so we get to explore all their mythology, all their backstory, learn about even more of their characters. So much gets revealed in this series, so much story gets hinted at certain episodes, and then we follow up on it on other episodes. That is what makes this show special. And I know I sound like I'm cheerleading for this show, but I am. It's one of those shows that is really, really good. If I had to recommend it to anyone, I would recommend it to all of you, all of my subscribers, because if you're sick and tired of those shows like SpongeBob, Teen Titans Go, or Ultimate Spider-Man, or even Adventure Time, then honestly this show could be that breath of fresh air that you really need. I hope it carries on into the future, and I will stick with it all the way. If you don't like the series, there's even a comic to go and read, so go and check that out if you need to. But these are my few minutes, so thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time on the Superhero Podcast. Bye-bye, folks.